Hello guys and gals, and welcome to another episode of Unique Items. Today we're going to be looking at the unique boots known as the Penitent Greaves. The Penitent Greaves are an interesting pair of boots that offer movement speed, crowd control duration, slow duration reduction, 21% cold resistance, and of course also the evade grants 50% movement speed. But the main benefit from these particular boots is the ridiculously weird chill frost thing that follows you around. So Penitent Greaves can roll as ancestral or sacred, and you can find them obviously pretty much anywhere throughout at World Tier 3 and World Tier 4. These particular boots have some really interesting flavor text. Remorseful devotees of the Cathedral of Light must undertake a grueling pilgrimage journeying across the frigid glacier known as the Sarek Rapture. Only then may their gravest sins be forgiven. Now, when you go outside of town with these, it's really clear what they do, and it doesn't work in town, obviously. But let's take a quick look. Shalom.
I need more time.
So as you can see, as soon as you exit town, there is a chilling effect which appears on the ground. And this chilling effect follows you around wherever you go. The chilling effect only appears on the ground when you are outside of town, obviously. And as a melee character, this could actually be extremely useful because obviously it is going to encompass a rather large area around you. Basically chilling all targets around you in a nice little circle. Chilling is considered a crowd control effect, so this will of course give you some crowd control damage bonuses if you are using those. It also can be added up to a freeze, so chill, when it reaches 100%, can actually reach a freeze, and this means that you could potentially utilize this to reach a freeze, combining with other abilities relatively easily. Also, it works pretty good for running away from monsters as well, because obviously as they chase you, they're going to have to run through the chilling effect, which means that, well, you know, they're going to get chilled, and chilling does in fact slow them down. As you can see, you can even run around in a kind of a small little circle, making an actual, like, more dense pack of chilled ground here. Honestly, they're kind of interesting. The movement speed does roll between 7.5 to 12.5. The crowd control does roll between 3.5 to 8.5. The 10% slow duration reduction is interesting for a PvP setup, and that is 9.5 to 14.5%. And then the cold resistance has a pretty wide variable of 19.5 to 34.5%. As far as the appearance goes, they actually kind of look interesting. They have like little skulls on them. I would assume that the appearance changes depending on what class actually puts them on, because they're not class restricted. These are not like necromancer only boots or anything. They are specifically sorry, my light just decided to become demon possessed. I am playing Diablo after all. But if we take a look in the wardrobe, you can actually see what they look like. And hop over here. Let me take off my chainmail dress real quick. Ooh, that's kind of neat. I like that. But if we take a look at the default look on the boots, you'll notice that the boots kind of have these like little skulls on them. Kind of pretty neat. Kind of reminiscent of like some, I don't know, almost like Saigon boots, but like with some accoutrements here and there, like freaking skulls bubbling up out of them. I don't even know about that. But it definitely would, doesn't look kind of cool. These pants look really nice. The bone weave folds. Those are kind of cool looking. They got little skulls on the kneecaps. I got little skulls on my knees. That's honestly kind of funny. Honestly, though, these boots seem interesting from a perspective of a cold damage character, or any character that's taking advantage of cold damage. if you want to have a chill effect added to your repertoire, or if you just want to add extra chill to your repertoire, like for instance, if you're a sorceress who's teleporting into a group of monsters, which I've seen a lot of sorceresses do this, and they use the snake to suck everything in so that everything's stacked on top of them, well, guess what? The chilling effect is going to hit every single one of them because it's in a rather large circle around your feet, and you're pulling them into that circle, which means that they're all going to be chilled by 10% instantaneously. Which could be an interesting addition to a cold sorceress. There's also other connotations. Like I said, it would be interesting from a melee standpoint because you're obviously always going to be in melee range, and it definitely seems like it hits just about everything within melee range. I also think these boots could be very interesting in PvP as well, considering that as you run away from a target, you know, for instance, if somebody's murdering you and you realize that you have no chance of success, you can obviously run away, and they have to chase you through the chilled effect, which could potentially lead to them becoming frozen if they run through it for too long, which could be an advantage on your part. It also has the slow duration reduction, which kind of seems like a PvP mechanic to me as well. So allows you to escape their slow easier while providing a slow to them, which is pretty cool. All in all, they're an interesting find, but I'm not sure if they're specifically going to fit into any specific build, because what it really comes down to is there a better piece of equipment that you could put in this slot? And that's the way I look at it. I currently don't think I can fit these into my build because I currently am using a pair of boots that offers me another effect. I have the every 10 seconds your cold skeletal mages cast Blizzard, which in the grand scheme of things, my skeletal mages casting Blizzard is going to be more powerful than having a chill effect under my feet, especially since I'm a caster. And that's really what it comes down to, is that the chill effect is under your feet. If you're not going to be in there, if you're not going to be in there actually, you know, standing next to the monsters and getting hit, well, they're probably not going to get hit by this unless they're chasing you, in which case they will run through it probably. But how often do you just kite around in circles? I mean, if you do kite around in circles a lot, then I guess these boots could be very interesting because they're definitely going to work very well for a kiting build. And in fact, I was just thinking about this because we have a person in the kidship who's using hydras, and it's one of the things they do when they get in trouble is they immediately start running and casting hydras. The hydras still dish out damage to the targets, obviously, because they're stationary, you know, stationary conjurations, and honestly, they would kind of work really well with that build because you'd be able to run away, the monsters would get slowed down as they try and chase you, and the hydras could dish out more damage because the monsters are standing still, and you wouldn't have to worry about them missing any of their hits. Yeah, it's rather interesting. I think that's pretty much it for these boots. As always, I do appreciate you guys and gals watching my videos, and keep watching.